evening, SRA Nation, and welcome to Season 14. Then the main. And this is where it all counts. As all eyes go to the light. And we are racing.
He brakes late, almost takes out the car ahead of him.
He's getting a tow, a flash.
Argy right on the exit, rear end squiggle. Who's going to get the move done here around the outside?
Oh, dang!
Byron ran it so shallow there, and this has become a four-car battle. Game of inches as the BMW is in the paint.
And we're off and away for SRA.
Hello, SRA Nation, and welcome back. We are in the second half of Season 15, Division 5. We do not have Stephanie Fisher, but I am Trey Morgan, and we are joined in the booth by the one and only Bailey Kish. Bailey, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic, Trey. I am making my long-awaited return. D5 better show me something spicy today.
Oh, spicy is what we do. We're not quite D4 levels of chaos, but it can feel like that sometimes. But yeah, it's been a good season so far. Like I said, we have finished the first half. We've had a week break. Hopefully you guys in stream are ready for us to get back at it again. But we are going to have fun this year. Like I said, or this season. Like I said, we finished the first half of the season, and this week we are at Hungaroring. Normal weather conditions, but it should be a fun second half of the season. Bailey, I know you said you made the.
Trey, give me. Perhaps I may have done that, but kind of give me a recap of how Donington went. Would we say it was a successful race with the variable water and rain?
I mean, I would say so. I unfortunately had to watch the stream because I was out last week, dying. Yeah, I was dying, but it looked like a fun race. A little bit of chaos toward the end, but overall a pretty good race as far as I'm aware.
Lovely. But yeah, we're coming off the mid-season break, heading into Hungaroring. We had that variable race, or that was a full wet race last season, so dry race this season, expecting a lot of good things and hopefully clean things this season.
Yeah, being not in the wet does help it clean up a little bit, so hopefully we stay mostly clean through the rest of this. But Bailey, I will go ahead and let you talk through the track map here for Hungaroring.
Lovely, I will do that. Hungaroring, very popular track, very hard track to make overtakes on. So the opportunities you get, we should be seeing a lot of overtake opportunities into turn one, as that is the hardest and heaviest braking zone at this track. Otherwise, it is a very nose to tail kind of circuit. A lot of hairpins, a lot of fast sweeping corners. So it's probably going to be hard to pass. Alexis would be my guess. But from what I'm hearing, the Lexus is having a rough week this season, rough week at Hungaroring, but we shall see. I don't know what car is going to be the dominant car this week, but we shall see. But yeah, maybe some opportunities at turn 12 there, the right-hander, before we get into 13, 14 swooping corners. But otherwise, I think turn one's going to be the hot spot this week.
Yeah, like you said, it's very hard to overtake here. I do agree that turn 12 is probably the best opportunity. It's going to be hard to follow through the S's of turns 8, 9, 10, and 11. But turn 11 has the fastest exit, I think, out of any corner. Except for maybe turn 4, but turn 4 doesn't have very good overtaking opportunities with turn 5 right after it. And then, like you said, turn 1...
Turn 4 might be the scariest.
Yeah. Yeah, if anyone tries to overtake into turn 4, I don't know what'll happen, but it won't be good things.
Good luck to you, is all I got to say.
Yeah, but we're going to go ahead and move to our driver standings so far. So we are past the promotions is what I should call it. There you go. So our gold drivers are now all mostly our top drivers. And you can see that with the top 13 drivers all being gold. But our top 5 in gold are Cliff Hemian, in the Porsche, Cameron Thibodeau in the Mustang, Josh Parker in the Lexus, Nolan Witt in the Mercedes, and Juicy Jake in the Ferrari. That's our top 5 overall, and those are all different cars. In fact, if you go down to the top 6, all of them are different cars. So at least in D5, we're seeing some very good spreading out of where our points are coming from. So that's always good to see. And then for our silvers, most of them are now down toward the bottom after promotions, but our first in gold is Cameron Hastings, followed by Ben Van Loo, Gershty Speed, Emil Garcia, and Dan Thibodeau. Bailey, I know you haven't really looked through any of the standings or not, but do you have any expectations for who might do good today?
Just quickly looking over at the hot lap leaderboard for this week. We did have that extra week, like I mentioned, with there being the off week, so I was expecting a lot of sweaty lap times coming in. D5's doing borderline D3 times here. Probably, yeah, we're looking at some D3 times and some quick D4 times too, so who knows what's going to happen. It looks like a Honda is going to look good, but, you know, you never know. It's about what you can do in the qualifying session. It don't matter what you did the 2 weeks leading up to it, you know. So,
Yeah.
if we're just going off of leaderboard, Sebastian Rock looks like the favorite, but like I said, you never know.
Yeah. So just get a little bit of love to our guys toward the bottom end of it. But now onto the team standings. Like I said before, most of our top leaders are going to be gold drivers. So Potato Performance in the BMW is up top with, I believe, last week's... No, that was a different someone else. My apologies. Number 2 is Box in the Ford Mustang. Number 3, we've got the Canadian duo with Apex GP in the Lexus. Number 4 is Red Eel Racing. And then number 5 is Yellow Subs Racing. And again, we have a different car for every single team all the way down to P6. So we're not seeing the Lexus dominance now as much as we were the first couple races. Thankfully, that does make it a little bit better for us. Yeah, so now we are going to go ahead and move to the race, or qualifying as I should say. We have begun our qualifying session, so our silver drivers are out on track, and we are beginning with Michael Santos in that wonderful, wonderful, I almost said Mercedes, but no, that's a McLaren.
Close.
It starts with an M, it's close enough. And they share an engine, so.
Let's see here. I'm just scrolling through the names to see who we got. A lot of familiar faces out here. Not a lot of silvers this week, it looks like.
I suppose it could just be that a lot of these silvers got promoted, but also there's only 26 drivers currently. So it's possible that, like you said, a lot of the silvers are just skipping. I know that we have one driver who's out with a sickness, unfortunately, but...
Yes. Yeah, it's also another thing we come across here in SRA is the summer times is a lot of attendance goes down through the season just because there's a lot of people traveling with vacations, with work, so it's expected, but very sad to see. And we're coming off that week break, so I mean, some people may not have found the motivation to do the laps this week as they had the week off, played some other games maybe. So it's happened before. So
yeah, I know that I haven't gotten much practice on this track, but that's because my pedals decided that they didn't want to work anymore. So I had to buy new pedals, and then those pedals wouldn't fit in my current rig, so I had to J-rig a solution for that.
interesting.
But also, I do know that this is also, I don't know about Europe, but I know that at least in America, this is the time where people are going back to college. And while I know that we aren't the youngest league ever, we do have a lot of younger guys, including my brother. As Michael Santos sets the benchmark time of a 1:45.9.
I think my race control is broken, but we ball.
I'm going to need to turn up your volume so that I can hear you a little bit better.
All right. Love that idea.
All right. Yeah. So looking at the times, like you were saying, a lot of our drivers are going a lot faster. Like Sebastian Rock, who is in that Honda, set a 1:44.3 in the practice times, which is good enough for D3.
Good heaven. Yeah.
But our fastest silver driver, at least according to the standings, is Hastings here in the wonderful yellow McLaren. So I do kind of expect him to top out the silver standings at some point, as he goes a little bit wide there, and I think that has invalidated his lap. So unfortunate for him, but he will have other times. Sorry, go ahead.
Just looking through the penalties here, it looks like we do have pit lane start for 449. I don't know if they are here or not.
Now, I
That
know.
would be Van Loo.
Yeah, Van Loo was the person who was sick, unfortunately.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, not exactly sure what was happening with him, but still unfortunate. Yeah, we have a couple drivers getting close to setting times. Muntean is going to go across the line and jump up to P1 by less than 1/10 of a second, but they are stuck behind, I believe that's Cox. Yes, M. Cox in that 931 Ferrari, so he may want to try and back off to make sure that he gets better lap times for his consecutive laps.
I mean, there's 8 cars on the track, and there's plenty of space for him, so.
Yeah, if he can't find the space to set a clean lap without anyone in front of him, I think that's on him at this point. I know that, like in F1, when there's 20 cars out on track, it can be a little bit more annoying, but we don't have the issue here today.
No, 8 cars is convenient, to say the least, for those out qualifying.
Yeah, I hope to see this few cars out tomorrow when I do my racing. Santos is now going through the third sector. He's a 6/10 up on his previous best lap, so we will go ahead and go on board with him as he finishes out this lap.
Gonna be flirting with the 44s already.
He's already 8/10 up, but he has one more hairpin to go. Almost looks like he almost hit the inside of the pit lane entry. And he improves by just about a second, going to 1:44.9. So we're not just flirting with the 1:44s, we're in it.
We have arrived.
Yeah, he's currently up a long ways on anyone else. Garcia is improving. They're about 3/10 up, so not at any danger of taking that provisional pole away from Santos, but they should at least improve on their current position if they can hold their current time. And they cross the line. They do improve their time. Or maybe that last stop was invalid. So they did not improve their time. I don't know where they invalidated, but they did, unfortunately.
No, Cam Hastings is actually up 6/10 right now. 7/10.
We'll go ahead on board with him. So we are going through, turn is this 11? I think turn 11. But this is where Bailey was talking about where that possible overtaking zone is, because the exit to the previous corner allows you to maybe get a run into the hard braking zone. Gets a good exit there. He's back up almost a second.
Looking good here. Good exit. Solid.
And we're going to go to the outside as he crosses the line with an improvement of over a second to take provisional pole. So good job by him. We do have a yellow flag as Hopkins
Uh-oh.
goes spinning. We'll get a quick replay of this. Looks like he may have lost it. Oh,
Oh boy.
so looks like he may have just taken a little too much curb there. There was another yellow flag for Draper, but I think that's just because he was ending his lap. No, he spun coming out of, I believe that's turn 3. Might be turn 2. So unfortunate there, but it does tend to happen. Muntean had been up on their lap, but they're not anymore. So I don't know if
Well, they improved by half a second on their last lap.
Garcia has also stopped, but I think they're just at the end of their fuel limits. Sorry, Bailey, you said that Muntean had improved their time?
Yeah, he was. He gained about half a second on his last lap, so currently down on his current.
Normally gaining a half second would bump you up a few positions, but not now, apparently.
You would think, but with 8 cars on track,
Yeah. While Hastings finishes his last lap, he improves by about a 10th to get some extra position there. Santos crossing the line does not improve, so he is stuck there in P2. Muntean is our last driver. There's a couple drivers ahead of him, Cox and Scheel. So we'll go ahead and watch. I don't think Scheel will improve. No, so they're going to practice their pit lane entry. Cox will improve as long as he doesn't mess up the last corner, and he doesn't. He gains about 3/10, stays in 6th place. And then Muntean crosses the line to overtake Santos, and so he is now provisional P2.
found about 3/10 on that last corner.
That is a massive improvement. But that is our silver qualifying done. We are now on to the gold drivers, and I believe there's just a few more gold drivers out there.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I bet
Maybe double.
Yeah, I bet a couple of them kind of wish they were allowed to qualify with the silvers, but unfortunately it doesn't work like that.
Could have done just one big qualifying set for 20 minutes.
Yeah. But Zach Watt is the first in line here, so we will wait for him to get around, and then we're going to go on board for a lap. So he is now going through the final corner, trying to set up a good exit, and we are off and away for lap number 1 for Zach Watt in that BMW. So we are on the main pit straight now. It's a little bit shorter than most main pit straights, but it is your probably best overtaking zone. Hard braking of turn 1, then you have this little kink here before turn 2. I feel like if this was Austria, that would be considered a corner, but this isn't. Turn 2 is another hairpin, another hard braking zone. You want to sometimes double apex it, sometimes not. And then turn 3 is a flat out right-hander. And then this is turn 4. We were talking about how that can be the scariest corner to go side by side through because you really don't have the space to go side by side. And turn 5 is another hairpin going up and right of the hill and then through the chicane. It's another possible overtaking zone if you're able to get a good line through the hairpin of turn 5, but not really. And then we're to the technical section. So those last 2 corners are only gear 2. You might be able to get gear 3 at some points, but not really. Then you have a short braking zone for the next best overtaking zone if you ignore turn 1. Another hard braking zone into a corner that opens up a little bit on exit, more than you might expect. Then you have another hairpin for the last 2 corners. You can go really wide on the exit of that corner there just because of how the pit lane is set up. But you don't want to go wide here at the last corner because then you will get a terrible exit down the, I believe it's the longest straight on the track. At least looks like it.
I believe you're right on that one.
And that is our lap 1 from Zach Watt. He goes to a provisional P6, but I assume he will improve from there.
Yeah, he had a lot of time in that, missed a lot of apexes.
Yeah. Probably just cold tires at this point. First lap is almost never going to be your best lap.
Nah, just got to get it timed down and then improve on it.
Yep. So out of our first lappers, Hemian is our best. He is still over a second away from Hastings' best time. But we are seeing a lot of immediate improvement. I can see at least 4 drivers who are already up almost half a second on their last time. One of those drivers is Burns in the 296. Would you look at that? Number 296 driving the 296. Who would have thunk it? He's currently up 4 tenths. Not a good run there through turn 4. Lost about a second and a half between there and turn 5. So he will have to try and make that up during the rest of the lap. Sebastian Rock in the Honda, though. I'm going to follow him, though, because he's up a second on his last time. That would put him up into P3, so possible podium range. Although, obviously, we do have a lot more time. Yeah, Rock going through the last corner now. Looks like he does a good job keeping it tight in there. He does improve through the last corner. And apparently he invalidated, so he does not improve. That was a killer lap, too, if he had improved. That's unfortunate. But our next big improver is SVG, getting a little bit blocked there. Not intentionally, but he is tucked right in behind that Ferrari. He does have a massive improvement, though, about 9 tenths all the way up to P5.
Starting to see some times now, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, but shockingly, I know that we still have probably 2 to 3 laps for most of these drivers, but none of the gold drivers are into the 45s yet. Hemian is close. He's 7 tenths off, but... And he is improving by a good bit, so he will definitely get into the 144s.
Yeah, and just kind of referencing back to the leaderboard, we do have a couple of silvers that were in that competitive 44 time range. So don't be surprised if the 44.7 is good enough for pole.
Yeah, the fastest time was a 144.3, but there were only 3 drivers in practice who got better than a 144.7, and one of those was our current pole sitter in Hastings. So, well, definitely everyone has a chance at getting pole. Sebastian Rock and Sig SVG are the only ones who've shown that they can go faster than that pole time. As Hemian does improve, I think, but still P4. So no one improving massively right now. Juicy Jake is up by about 4 tenths. And that would possibly bump him up to around P11, P12 if he can hold it. Oh, and he goes all the way P9. So I miscounted there. And the other big improver is Sebastian Rock, who I was talking about earlier, is one of the 2 drivers to go faster than our current pole time in practice. He's not quite on pace for that right now, but he does have a chance.
He's lost quite a bit of it so far in this lap. He was up 3.5 tenths at one point.
Yeah, he lost a big chunk through the chicane, but he's gained some of it back as he loses it already again. So we'll let him finish his lap in peace. Hopefully, the reduction in pressure allows him to do good. SIG SVG is slightly improving. Has about another half lap to go before they finish their lap, but they're doing good. See, I was wondering why the comment section was so quiet, because normally we've got like 6 or 7 people going at it in the comments, but I think I've realized part of that. Josh Parker isn't here.
Ah. Is he one of our frequent flyers?
Yeah, he's had like 4 or 5 guys. Basically, his entire like immediate family has been in the chat for most of it.
Oh, I see. We've had a lot of family members in chat this season. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, it's been great. We are down to the last half minute of qualifying. Nolan Witt just improved by a good chunk, or at least they tried to. They did improve by almost a second, but it was an invalid lap, so they have to try it again. They get one last shot. I believe Witt was our winner from last week, so I definitely expect him to get higher. It's just a matter of not whether he can do that in one lap.
Yeah, and while you were watching that, SIG SVG just went P2 and is down 0.04 of a second from P1.
Yeah, so very nice there. So he definitely has a chance at pole. He's only about 4 tenths away from it, and that's kind of just a hair length. So it really will come down to the margins probably.
Yeah.
As leader jumps massively all the way from about P12, I think, to P3. So amazing job there. No big... Well, I was about to say there are no big improvers, but Juicy Jake is up 6 tenths on his last lap. And that, if he holds it, that would be good enough for pole. And as I say that, he loses 2 tenths. Of course. Yeah, not quite holding that improvement he was showing, so I'll move off of him. Witt is improving slightly. He's about 2 tenths up, so not in danger of getting pole. Then the only other person on track who is improving is Lorenzo. But Witt goes across the line, goes up to P12, and then Lorenzo going through the last couple set of corners. He is going through the final hairpin, stays just inside that line, and he jumps all the way up to P9.
Decent.
So an amazing finishing lap for a lot of these guys, including leader. But our pole sitter is a silver driver in Hastings, so amazing job there. We will let our drivers do their final setup for the race, but we will first get a word from our sponsors.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top-tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specializing in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
All right, welcome back. We are just now actually getting ready to do our formation lap. So we're going to go ahead and begin our walkthrough. So, on pole, Silver Driver did an amazing job. Cameron Hastings. You love to see it when gold drivers or silver drivers get top spot, especially when maybe you don't expect it. I think we did kind of expect it today, but amazing job to get there. P2 is Cameron's teammate in SIG SVG. So we have 2 yellow McLarens on front, hoping to see them do good. P3 is Neil Leader in the Ferrari. P4 is Justin Muntean, another silver driver. And then P5 is another silver driver, and Michael Santos. So 2 out of our top 5, or 3 out of our top 5 are silver, and 4 out of our top 5 are all McLarens. So not a lot of the same cars, but a lot of different drivers, is what I'll say. P6 is Cliff Hemian. P7 is Arthur Burns. P8 is Austin Thibodeau. P9 is Raymond Lorenzo. P10 is Sebastian Rock in the Honda. Little bit, we expected him to be a little bit higher, but you know, stuff happens. You can't always be perfect. P11 is Juicy Jake in that Ferrari. P12 is Emil Garcia. P13 is Nolan Witt, last week's winner. It'll be hard for him to do a repeat performance, but he can certainly try. P14 is Cameron Thibodeau. P15 is Zach Watt. P16 is Roger Dismukes. P17 is Havit Garzozi. Yes, Garzozi. P18 is Don Draper. P19 is Stephen Pellerin. P20 is JP May in the Silver Arrow. P21 is Andrew Dwongbonglio. P22 is Andrew Garman. P23 is Michael Cox. P24 is Ian Gilchrist. P25 is Andrew Hawkins. P26 is Jonas Scheel. And P27, we have Dan Thibodeau starting from the pits. I'm not sure if he's supposed to be there, but he is.
It's calculated.
I mean, I don't expect us to see something. I don't hope that we see someone go bowling, but given the state of racing that we've seen it in other races, it would not shock me, I guess, to say.
And with Hungaroring's turn 1 being so 180, it's almost a certainty. I'm not saying a guarantee, but a certainty that there might be a small pile up here. But I have faith in D5.
I definitely have more faith in D5 than I do in D4. But there's a large
I
gap
agree.
right now between Hastings and SIG SVG. I don't know if he's supposed to be that far ahead of everyone else.
We're about to find out here.
Yeah, we will. There's no drive-through penalty, so we are off and away, and we are clean. Hastings will be pretty much clear into turn 1. We do have 3 wide toward the back. It's looking clean so far.
Little argy-bargy.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
That is Nolan Witt there going off. Thankfully, I think he's the only one, but that was kind of a ping pong
That could
moment
have
there.
been so much worse.
That could have been
Oh,
way
no.
much worse. as it is, one driver is off, but otherwise mostly clean. Santos trying to defend against Thibodeau into turn 4. They are going side by side. Santos thankfully backs out. We do have leader going wide there, and so he will lose and go down to P5, but overall generally fine. In the back, we are still side by side. Everyone is very close to each other. Garmin still by side. No, we have rear ending into the hairpin.
Oh heavens.
They seem to be mostly okay, but
yeah, could have been a lot worse again.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. Still unfortunate, but like you said, we have seen worse lap ones before by a wide margin. Garmin and Hopkins were side by side. Hopkins loses the position. He looks to the inside, but I think he's a little far back to try something. Thankfully thinks better of it. And then Garcia got past Pellerin. So I'm not going to say it was an overall clean lap 1, but it was probably better than I think we might have expected. Hastings is almost 2 seconds clear already of his teammate. SIG SVG is 2 seconds clear of Muntean, and then we have a little train forming behind them. As Juicy Jake goes wide, Thibodeau getting a good run here into turn 2. We'll have to see if he's able to hold it on the outside, though. Ugh. Almost contact there, but they're both running straight, so we're good for now. Gilchrist side by side with May, and then Garmin side by side with Shield behind them. They're side by side through turn 3.
Oof.
That almost looked like contact, but we are still not out of the clear yet. Garmin looked up the outside of Gilchrist, but decided not to do anything, thankfully. So, ooh, a little bit of a look to the inside there, but from, I believe that was Shield, but nothing big, thankfully. And Muntean has just lost 2 positions. It's going side by side into turn 12. Holding that outside line very well, but it's going to be hard to beat the acceleration of the Ford.
Yeah, meanwhile, the front 2 are gone. 5 seconds.
That is absolutely insane.
We're in lap 2.
It kind of reminds me of the D5 last year at Indy. I only remember this because it was Mac and I who were doing it, but Mac and I were P1 and 2, and we absolutely flew away in the first couple of laps. But that was because of an incident. And I don't think him. Oh no, dive bomb there from Juicy Jake.
Oh heavens.
So Juicy Jake here, if I can click on him, I don't think I can click on him fast enough. There we go.
Just in time. Oh man.
Yeah, so
Only
Juicy
missile.
Jake way late on the brakes there, unfortunately. Ran into, I'm not 100% sure who that was, but either way, not a fun thing to see. My race control is going crazy right now.
Yep, same.
As Garzosi goes off too. I believe this was just a little bit of an error on the exit of turn 3. Oh no, on the hits the inside barrier. Yeah, there's something going on with my race control, so I will have to hold
Mine
off
just
using it for a
crashed.
minute. So something is killing it. What? Who knows? But out on track, like we were saying, Hastings is about a second away from SIG SVG, and then Hemian, with a little bit of a kind of train behind him, is 5 seconds back, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, so not exactly a clean start, but I think we're doing okay for now. And my race control's completely gone kaput, so we might be back to old school.
Yeah, it's not just you, it's also me. So we're going off of what ACC gives us here.
All right. Well, I'll have to try and remember key bindings now. That's not something I want to do.
Yeah. Well, I think you're okay. Hopefully where you are. So.
All right. Yeah, so leader has fallen about a second back from... Yeah, leader's fallen about a second back from Chris Hemian. Unfortunately, I'm not able to change who I'm watching. And I don't know why.
Oh.
Do you happen to know what the key binding is to change who I'm watching?
I believe. I thought it was just the arrow key. Shift arrow key left right.
Aha! There we go. So we're going back to old school, but we're gonna go to Sebastian Rock here. Sebastian is trying to chase down Cameron Thibodeau. Not quite the easiest thing to do. Let's see if I can remember. Aha!
He's still got it.
So he looks up to the
Meanwhile,
inside there. Sorry, go ahead.
what we missed was Montine had actually from P5 spun on himself at turn 12. Fall all the way to P21.
I see that. That's unfortunate. He did a really good job to get up there into the top.
Yeah. Just a little oversteer on the exit.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Also within that, Hastings has reeled his teammate in to within about a second. I would assume that it's probably going to be team orders, at least a little bit, so that they hopefully don't crash into each other, but we could see a battle for the lead here before too long. Yeah, so down here in P15, Burns is right up the back end of Pellerin here in that Lexus. He's not really going to be able to do anything through these next few corners, but he will have a lot better cornering than the Lexus, and so he might get a run here. Amazing move to the inside there, but I don't know if he held it. I think he may have shoved Pellerin out of the way. Pellerin does come back out on track ahead of him. Fortunately, we had the exact wrong camera angle to see what happened there. Someone decided to put a banner wall right in the middle of our camera view. But there we go, I know what I'm doing. So, apologize for the weird camera. But we have May going side by side with Garmin here. Got a good exit off of turn 1, dives deep into turn 2, and he holds it. I kind of assumed that was May kind of giving up the position to make sure he didn't get wrecked. Because I think if he tried to defend that at all, especially with where Garmin braked, I don't know if he really would have been able to do anything there.
Yeah. I think, I'm not sure what's going on, but Dan Thibodeau is still in the pits and has not done a single lap yet.
I don't know.
Not quite sure what that situation is.
Is it possible that he just wants to sit in and watch the race, but he's not able to race?
There's a good chance.
I know that there were some discussion about how penalties work. Like, you can't sit in the pits to get rid of a penalty, but I don't think Dan has any penalties.
I don't believe I didn't see his name on there.
So we have a mystery on our hands. As Wong Bunglio goes side by side with a McLaren Gilchrist. I can't see who passed who anymore if I'm not paying strict attention.
Yeah,
so
this is pretty tough.
I believe he was just defending there, but yes. A little bit behind them, Garmin and May are side by side. Duong Bunglio goes wide, and so Gilchrist now has a chance to overtake him. He doesn't have the best engine in that McLaren, but he does have, I'll say, okay brakes, and he holds that position change. So well done there. We're gonna move up a little bit because Garcia, or Rock, someone is falling down the order. Or is it just my ACC failing me again? I think it's just ACC failing me again. But we're gonna go ahead and watch this battle here between Burns and Pellerin. Burns with an amazing dive there into the, what is that, chicane. Pellerin tried to turn in a little bit before Burns was ready to turn in. I'm not sure how the stewards will view that, but no one spun, so hopefully no harm, no foul.
And we did already have somebody pit in P26. It's Gardzazzi. We do have the mandatory tire change as per usual, so we're gonna probably see an undercut attempt. Maybe they had damage to fix as well that was kind of undrivable, but very early pit stop to go. I think it's 50 minutes he pit, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. And this track is not light on tire wear from what I remember, so.
No, it is very aggressive, especially on the left sides.
So for anyone racing tomorrow, remember that. Don't pit at 50 minutes. It will not work.
Unless you have to.
Unless you have to, then go ahead.
I'm almost wondering if Gardzazzi was the receiver of the Punterino at turn 1.
Could be. But I thought that was Witt in P20.
It could have been, but I just guessing.
Yeah. It's hard to tell anymore with ACC race control dying on us, but you know, we take it as it rolls.
It's also a little tough because I have not downloaded any liveries, so all I see is black cars.
JP May almost spun. Honestly, a really good save. I would show the replay if I could, but thankfully we caught it live. So I think he needs to shift his brake bias a little bit more forward. He did end up losing, I believe, 2 spots to Witt and Jake. But could have been a lot worse. He managed to not hit the wall. He managed to save it from spinning too hard, thankfully. Looking up the order, Draper is about 5 tenths back from Dismukes. I don't know how easy it'll be to pass him because I know that the McLaren is really good at cornering, but I don't know if he'll be able to actually get past him. Because I believe the Porsche has good acceleration, just not good top end speed. I could be wrong on that.
That is, I believe, accurate.
All right. Well, until someone tells me otherwise, it's accurate.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
And we have a Cox fan here in the chat, Tammy Cox, cheering on M. Cox. Unfortunately, the 931 is almost at the very bottom of our leaderboards, so. Meanwhile, Burns getting just side by side. He will attempt a dive bomb. Thankfully, he doesn't get hit, but he will lose out. He had to take a very compromised line through the first part of the chicane. So he will have to fight another day to find another place to try and pass.
Alright, well, I think I fixed my race control.
Alright. Glad someone.
All you gotta do is restart the game.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think I can do that.
No, that's a little tough.
So I'll let you be my guide in what's happening.
Perfect.
Not quite race director role, but it's some kind of directing.
That's guy.
So, looking out front as we see Draper go a little bit deep into turn one, our leader, SVG, has pulled out a 4-second gap to Hastings, so it might not have been the team orders that I suggested earlier.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I mean, their last lap was a difference of 0.2, and their best laps are separated by 0.3. So,
So
whatever Cam
likely some
Hastings
kind of
just had
mistake.
it off. Yeah.
At least that's what we would assume, but you know what assuming does. Meanwhile, here in P11, Rock was at least about 0.3 back from Garcia. Rock was the fast. Oh, since I can't look at race control, I will look at the practice times. Sebastian Rock was the fastest in the hot laps, and he was also second fastest in the hot stint category. So I would expect him to move up at some point in this race. I don't know how easy it'll be to pass the Mustang ahead of him, but
Might be a little tough. But the Honda is pretty good in the straight line, but not as good as the Mustang. Oh!
what position?
My. I'm looking at Nolan Witt and Dung Bunglio. Dung Bunglio just kind of missed the braking going into turn 13 and went a little deep. Lost about 3 positions, I think it is now.
Yeah, 2 or 3. And it's looking like JP May looks to the inside. He's given the room as someone else has spun. I don't know who that is. The 419. That is Dismukes.
Roger. Looks like he got hit because the rear looks a little rough.
Oh, and someone else has spun on the inside of turn 2. Since you're the only one who's able to do replays, do you know how to set up the picture-in-picture?
Maybe?
All right.
Do you just need my stream in Discord?
Go to video.ninja and start an OBS virtual cam. Stream it to that, and then send me the link. And then I can put it up. So if you're not able to figure it out, no worries, but
Okay.
if we can replay some of these things, then it might be helpful.
Yeah.
So Pellerin had been close to Garmin ahead of him. This is the battle for P13. And he's fallen back a little bit, but Garmin did make a mistake on the exit of turn 11, I think it is. So he could get back into this. I'm a little bit ahead of them. There we go. Rock is still right behind Garcia in the Ford, but they have also both caught Zach Watt. I would assume that the BMW is a lot easier to pass than the Ford, but we'll have to see.
All right, see if that works.
All right. We're doing a little bit of midstream checks.
Get rid of some things here.
All right. I will wait for you to finish going through settings, and then I will pull you up.
Okay, should be good.
All right. And there you have it. Picture in picture. So we are now
Perfect.
able to see some kind of replay of stuff. Speaking of replays, well, we're not going to get a replay of it, but Hopkins P22 has a drive-through penalty,
Oh no.
which is really shocking because, at least for me, this track isn't that bad in corner cuts. There's not really many places that you can corner cut and get an advantage other than probably the chicane and the exit of turn 4.
And exit of turn 11 as well, the high-speed
Okay.
right-hander.
That makes sense. But
Mostly the exit, I think, is where you're going to see a lot of track cuts, but not a lot of inside track cuts where you'll gain an advantage. So
yeah. But either way, we're only just over 20 minutes into the race. I would have assumed that it would have taken a lot longer to get us to track cuts. But here we are anyways. So Sebastian Rock has been trying to get past Garcia for a while. Not really been easy like we've been seeing. I'm going to move down to P17 as Gilchrist tries to get past JP May. Now Gilchrist had gotten past JP May a while ago, but then there was some kind of issue into turn 2, and we saw him on the inside of turn 2, which is not a place where you'd normally expect to see them. But he is now trying to get past to reclaim some of the positions that he lost from his wreck. And then in that bottom right corner, thanks to Bailey, we have that wonderful picture-in-picture along the bumper. Yeah, so we're currently going through the S's section, which is probably it is the most technical part of the racetrack, I think. And you have to get really good at following people through there if you want to set up overtakes anywhere. Because this track isn't like Barcelona or Austria where there's multiple straights. And we almost see something. Little bit of a Code Brown moment. But nothing too
and I
big.
take a scroll back up here, and I see that SVG has pulled an even bigger gap on P2, as I believe.
9 seconds.
Yeah, I believe Cam Hastings' pit is in the pits right now, so that could be why.
I see Hastings in the pits, so I would assume that would be it.
Yeah.
I would assume it's just a normal pit stop, but could be otherwise. But for the moment, Garcia in the Ford trying to pass Zach Watt. Sebastian Rock has fallen back almost a second from Garcia, so I assume he had a mistake somewhere. A little bit ahead of them in P5. We have a little bit of a train here from P3 back to P6. Santos is the closest, I think, to the driver ahead of him, trying to chase down Austin Thibodeau. Both going a little bit wide there. That can help on corner exit sometimes, but only if you're able to hit the apex, and neither of them did. So we have another pitter in Lorenzo, and then I believe that is Witt, who just came out of the pits, just behind this battle that we're watching.
And Cam Hastings is still sitting in the pits right now.
Is it possible he had damage from something?
There is a possibility that we may have missed it, but he has currently been stopped for 1 minute and 45 seconds.
That doesn't really sound like damage to me. So unless he had a major incident like hitting the wall, which is why he lost so much time, I don't know why he'd be sitting for that long. Other than that, the only thing I can think of is maybe he's changing his brakes out, but I don't know why you'd be doing that here.
And I believe he just left the server.
Yeah.
Well,
So an unfortunate end for our, I believe he was our pole sitter, right? Or he was P2 at least.
Yes, he was P1.
Yeah, so our pole sitter, not our overall leader, I don't think, has just had some kind of incident. We might be able to get you more information later, but Santos and Hemian are both into the pits. So Santos is trying to do that undercut to get past Thibodeau. Bailey, I think you talked about this earlier, but the undercut is probably going to be your best opportunity for overtaking at this track.
Yeah, I mean, if you're stuck behind someone for a certain amount of time, that's going to be your best option, is to try the undercut. The tires are going to be a little cold coming out of the pits, but they're probably going to be in better condition than what you had for the last 30 minutes.
So yeah, we will have to wait and see where Santos comes out of the pits in relation to Austin Thibodeau. I would expect he'll come out somewhere ahead of him, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that Austin just finds some amazing pace. You know, I'm going to scroll down the order, so apologies for the spasm that's about to happen on stream. But we're going down to P15 if I can find it. There we go. Gilchrist and May are fighting each other still. Gilchrist has been a consistent 3/10 behind May, and I know that the McLaren doesn't really have the best straight line speed or acceleration, so that would probably be one main reason why. I'm not sure how the Mercedes is, though. I would assume it's...
The Mercedes is just wide. That's all it's got.
As someone goes off ahead of them... Was that Henian? That was Dismukes, okay. So that could have been just blue flag things getting out of the way. So thankfully no big issues there. Leader is now also into the pits. As May goes wide, Gilchrist has a opportunity. As long as he can hold the outside here, he will have the inside line for the next corner, but he doesn't hold it. Wasn't able to get onto the pits, or into the pits soon enough, or sorry, not into the pits, onto the gas soon enough. As we have another drive-through penalty for Lorenzo. And I would assume that would have to be track cutting.
Yeah, I believe so.
I believe we saw him come out of the pits, and he didn't have a drive-through then, so it wouldn't be for pit lane speeding.
Wonder if it will tell me. It does not.
Yeah, so Lorenzo is now serving his pit lane penalty. But we do now have what I'll call a slight train behind May here. Obviously Gilchrist, who we've been following for a while. And then Dismus, who is just blue flag, so not too big of a worry there. Looking back out front, I know that it is mostly just due to the fact that the people in between Austin Thibodeau and SVG have pit. But a 20-second gap to P2 either way is going to give you a massive boost of confidence.
Absolutely, and SVG does pit, so
almost a rear end there from Gilchrist. He goes wide. Dismuse really doesn't have an opportunity to overtake him since they are a lap behind. So, unfortunate that no one really was able to take advantage of that mistake. But he will keep going. As most of our leaders have now come into the pits. Austin Thibodeau has not, and he is now our current leader. He will have to pit at some point, obviously, but not quite yet. So now that we're about halfway through the race, most of our drivers have pit. I believe there's only 4 drivers who have not pit. I don't know what Dan Crane, or not Dan Crane, Dan Thibodeau counts as, since he was in the pit lane. I don't know if he's still in the circuit.
Yeah, he still is.
All right. So we have a ghost figure in the pits. Let's see. So now looking a little bit farther back, I'm going to spasm again all the way down to Sebastian Rock here in P12. There we go. Sebastian has done pretty good so far. I'm not sure how it will all shake out with the rest of the pitters, since there's 5 guys ahead of him that are yet to pit. But he is currently P7 out of the people who have pit. I would assume that at least Thibodeau and Garmin would stay ahead of him. But he has moved up so far, so it's always good to see that. Are you able to tell me where any good battles are at the moment?
Yeah, I'm currently watching Ramon Lorenzo in P14, half a second off of Cam Thibodeau, I believe that is.
I believe that's right.
A lot of Thibodeaus around this parts.
Yeah, it's a dad and 2 sons, with I believe Dan being the father, but I could be wrong on that. But yeah, Lorenzo is trying to get past that Ford. Assuming that he's able to get close enough behind him, I think he probably has the best chance out of any of these cars to overtake with that short burst of acceleration. And then hopefully he can use that to get into the slipstream to get an overtake done. But we'll have to see. I know
Yeah, that Mustang got some legs.
Yeah. As Lorenzo has a little bit of a wide moment, but thankfully nothing too big. Yeah, like you're saying.
Hey, actually just had an incident coming out of the pits, perhaps?
Who?
JP May. I'm rewinding here.
Alright, so we're going to watch it in the pit there. I'll stop spasming here. So he comes out of the pit.
Maybe not. Maybe I was just seeing things.
I don't know.
I think we're okay.
Alright. We will assume he's okay for now then. You know, we have 3 of our last 4 guys pitting in Gilchrist, Garmin, and Thibodeau. Bonglio, I believe, is the last person yet to pit, and he goes really wide there. He still does keep it straight, though, so no big issues. But we are going to have to see if I can find him. Austin Thibodeau. Am I missing something?
I don't know.
There we go. Apparently it updated. Okay, because it showed Thibodeau had pit, but was ahead of SVG, so I assume it's just the timing hadn't updated for me yet in ACC, but
Yeah.
yeah, so Thibodeau does come out ahead of Santos, so we will still have a battle there. About a second difference there. Hemian is close to Duong Bonglio there for P3, but Duong Bonglio hasn't hit yet. And then down there in the pit, I believe that's Juicy Jake fighting with Pellerin there.
Correct.
I will find my way down to him. There we go. So yeah, Jake is around a second to a half second back from Pellerin. If he can get up to the Lexus, he will have very good brakes compared to his opponent, but getting next to him will be the issue.
Yeah. Especially coming up to turn 1, where that Lexus does have the legs on the Ferrari.
Yeah, although I think just about every car has legs on the Ferrari, so
Yeah, that's about right.
yeah, I don't know of any cars that have a worse engine than the Ferrari. I could be wrong on that, but I just remember.
I mean, if you put a zero wing on a Ferrari, it's kind of quick.
I just remember driving it for last season, and the only way you could pass anyone on a straight was with a massive tow. As he might
I mean, a
get one
low-wing
here.
Ferrari is slightly faster than the Merc at any track, because you have to run that thing at max swing all the time.
Little bit of an almost moment there. Pellerin does an amazing job to get side by side with Jake. They almost have a collision into turn 1. He does get fully past him, but Jake is still right up his trumpet, so he will have a chance to try and do something, maybe. Hopefully not through this corner, though. And thankfully he doesn't. Although they are still very close together, so it's still possible that something could happen. In the pit, I believe that is Rock fighting with, I don't know if it's Thibodeau or Garcia. I believe it's Garcia.
This is Michael Santos and Austin Thibodeau for P5.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I couldn't read the position marker there in the pit. It's too small for me.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, so we have a couple of pretty good battles going on right now. Not sure if we would expect any passing from these battles, but we can hope.
Yeah,
Little.
these three are getting pretty close.
Yeah. Juicy Jake might have a run here. Garmin did not get the best exit. I don't know if it was able to get caught, but he did have a little bit of an oversteer moment through the corner. So Jake will have the tow, but I don't think he'll have an opportunity to do anything. He does compromise Garmin's line, though, so he will have another chance into turn 2. And of course, the Ferrari does have those incredible brakes. So if there's a chance that he could get alongside, he will probably try to take it. Right in the middle of these two battles, in P9, Rock is fighting with Garcia and really close behind him. But Cameron Thibodeau, also really close right behind Rock. So this is likely a 3-way battle for 8th, and I think whoever wins is whoever makes the, or doesn't make any, or who doesn't make the last mistake. Because, like we were saying earlier, this track does not have good overtaking zones.
No, and Sebastian Rock is sandwiched by 2 Mustangs right now, so not a good place to be coming out of the last corner.
No, you're basically unable to overtake at the front because it's got legs, and then you're always
Yeah.
going to be defending into turns 1 and 12 because the car behind you also has legs. Although it's not as bad as last year, or last season, as the Mustangs do now have restrictor plates. I personally find it an affront to put a restrictor plate on it, but you know, we gotta keep it even here.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep.
We got a little tired of the Mustang Fest, so we had to do something about it.
Yeah, I've not driven it with the new restrictor plates on it, so I know that with the restrictor plate, it has been less bopped, so it's a little bit better cornering. Allegedly, it's really good on the brakes now, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, so essentially all we did was we took some power out of it and then added, or I guess we took off weight to its actual bop. So it's a little more balanced, so it's not such a demon in the straight line. I mean, it still was and is good on the brakes, but nothing as to what it used to be when it would. I mean, it was a Lexus on crack, essentially.
Yeah, I remember driving it my first season, and it was fun to drive, specifically because as long as you got a half decent exit on the straight, you were flying by someone. So
Yeah.
I definitely understand why
Absolutely.
you had to change it, especially after.
And it's one of those cars.
Go ahead.
It's one of those cars where it feels like a slow lap, but because of how much power it makes, it's a good lap.
Speaking of a good lap, Rock got a really good exit. I don't know if it'll be close enough to try anything into turn 1. As we can see that Cameron Thibodeau behind had fallen back, but then with that straight line speed, got right back up to the front. Almost rear ends Rock. So we do have a really good battle here. Although back to what you were saying, I know that my brother was in a McLaren whenever I was in the Ferrari, and so whenever we'd race each other, he'd get really close to me because we were at, which track was it? Valencia? I don't remember, one of the tracks. He would get really close to me through the cornering sections, think he had a chance to overtake me, and then I'd be a second away at the end of the straight, and that's just not fun.
Yep. No, and people started to catch on to it last season that, wow, this car's OP. Might as well drive it while I can, you know? So that was the one thing we had a big discussion about in the offseason was what can we do to make this not a Mustang spec series? And we had a team put together and did a bunch of practice laps and a bunch of testing in the offseason, and we were able to come to this restrictor plate where it would take off the wheel power to the Mustang, and that would essentially eliminate that top end speed that the Mustang produced, plus its braking and its cornering speed. So it just kind of got nerfed a bit, but in doing so, we were able to take instead of adding more weight to the Mustang to try and nerf it, we were able to add this restrictor plate and then bop it off of that, so it's closer to 0, but it's not always going to be 0. There are some tracks where it will be taking off a little weight, like 5 to 10 kilos, but nothing major. So fortunately we were able to do it for the Mustang, but in the case of the Lexus and the GTR, which is not a super popular car this season, since the cars are older models, we weren't able to adjust those cars. So we just had to play with their balance of power to try and even them out. But the Lexus will always be fast in a straight line. There's nothing we can do about it. But where it lacks is the braking zone, which is why we're seeing probably struggle this week from the Lexus, and probably next week too at Laguna Seca. So it's a good balance of tracks this season for the Lexus, and to be able to bring the Mustang back to base a little bit, it's kind of even things out. We've had a more widespread selection of cars this season. So I think it's been a good run for all the divisions in terms of car dominance. So I think we're going to keep going forward with what we did this season.
Yeah, I know that D5 isn't the end-all be-all of performance by any stretch, but I pointed out when we were going through the team standings and the driver standings that both the top 6 in the overall championship for D5 in terms of drivers, and also the top 6 for the team standings, all the top 6 were a different car from each other. There wasn't any repeated cars, so it's glorious to see.
Absolutely, and that's what we aim for in all the divisions. Is no matter what car you choose, it's going to be competitive. And so we get a lot of people who complain about the BOP, but we try our hardest to make the BOP as good as it can be. It's not always going to be 100% accurate because there is the driver skill that comes into play that affects it too. So there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, I think I personally would have found it a little bit funny just to set the Mustang to max weight and turn it into essentially a drag race car. I don't know if that would have worked at all, just because you'd cause stack ups on corner entry, and then at corner exit it just ruin everything for the cars behind you.
Disappear. Yeah.
I just would have.
The only thing with that, we basically would have set that up with Paul Ricard being week 1, that everybody and their mother would have chose the Mustang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but that's basically what it happened with the Lexus. Is the Mustang got nerfed a little bit, so everybody went to the Lexus because it was fast in a straight line. But they got blinded by the first 2 weeks, with it being a top speed heavy track, that they didn't look at the rest of the schedule. That it's going to suck these few weeks between Donington, Hungaroring, Laguna Seca. It's going to be a tough 3-week stretch here.
Yeah. It's always interesting looking at how the balance in cars ebbs and flows through the season. Kind of makes you think about what cars you might want to try later. Like, I've been very vanilla in my choices. I've done the Ferrari, McLaren, and Mustang, which I don't know if those are the villain, if there is really a vanilla choice for ACC, but I feel like that would be the vanilla choice for between those 3.
Yeah, probably the McLaren would probably be the top choice there for most people.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh.
Ramon Lorenzo, I think that was. Going into the back.
Yeah, so Rock got, I don't know if you'd call it pit maneuvered, but he got hit by Cameron Thibodeau there. And then Lorenzo, trying to go around the outside, bumped into him too. I kind of saw that coming from the last few times that they've been close into that corner, but either way, not fun for Rock. Z has lost now 2 places to Cameron Thibodeau and Lorenzo. So, looking for more battles, since we're here to watch a race and not just talk about general racing. Thibodeau and Leader are up at the front. They are about 4 tenths away from each other, battling for the last podium position.
Yeah, and Austin Thibodeau has been flying. He actually has the purple lap at a 45.0.
Yeah, well, he wasn't quite purple there. He was now about a second back, and these 2 cars are probably about as opposite as you can get between the Mustang and the 296 Ford or Ferrari. Yeah, no, 296 Ferrari. There we go. They have, as far as I'm aware, like almost completely opposite strengths. We already talked about the.
Yeah, the closest.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the closest they got is the braking. The Ferrari's a little better with the engine braking, but the Mustang is no slouch in that department.
Yeah, the Ferrari, at least from what I experienced, has almost no engine limit for how high the RPMs can go. So you're really able to use it to brake if you know how to do it properly.
Absolutely, it's one of those span the gears in the braking, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that last season, someone who had been, I believe they had been in the Ferrari. This was at COTA. They transitioned from, I believe it was the Ferrari to the BMW
and we're still not exactly sure how it happened, but into one of the corners at Coda, they spammed their gear shifter down so hard they actually blew up their engine.
Yep, that is a possibility.
As we see, Atypical goes wide there a little bit. Still within that about a second gap. Don't know how many more chances he has to actually get overtakes though, as we are now down below the 9-minute mark in this race.
And you talked about the straight line speed difference between the Ferrari and the Mustang. There was about 1.1 seconds coming out of last corner. It came down to 0.8. So it's for how short this straight is, 0.3 is quite significant.
Yeah. I know that the Mustang really doesn't ever use gear 6 except for like it won't ever use gear 6 on this track. So, but
no.
Your Ferraris and basically every other car, as far as I'm aware, will not get to gear 6, I think, anywhere on this track. I think you can get close on this main straight, but I've never gotten there on purpose. That could just be because I'm slow, but...
Hey, I wasn't going to say it.
I will fully admit I'm slow at this track. Possibly everywhere.
I once did a 6-hour race here by myself. That was
my.
brutal.
That sounds like torture.
It was not. It was fun, but it was like painful. So.
Say your hands probably wanted to fall off by the end of that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh no!
Saves it.
An amazing save there, but that does ruin his overtaking attempts.
Yeah, he
sector
was
2 and
real
3.
close.
Yeah, during sector 2 and 3, he got really close. As we have someone spinning. The 522.
522. Oh, that is.
Or 552.
Shield.
Yeah, Shield.
Down in P22. Wow, we're down to 22 cars in this race.
I mean, technically 23, but... Oh, and
we
just a
got
rear end
punted.
tap. I don't know.
And then just brutal rejoin.
Yeah, you have to be really careful when you're trying to rejoin after an incident, because you're going to have hot rear tires, and it's just going to want to spin.
Not sure if that was Zach Watt or Brad Garman in the BMW.
Yeah, I don't know. But if it was one of those, that would have been a blue flag incident.
It would have been, correct.
Speaking of blue flags, Leader is catching up to, I don't know who specifically that is, but he's catching up to a lap traffic, and that could really affect how this battle up here plays out. As Austin looks to the inside there, doesn't try anything through turn 12, but
Roger Dismukes in the blue flag, I believe.
All right. So he lets them both by. So shouldn't be too big an issue through this. But Austin Thibodeau gets almost side by side through the last corner, and now he has a really good shot at trying to overtake. So you said that he can get about 3/10 on this straight.
Oh, yeah. I think he just had a bad exit. Oh boy, and he goes for it.
He does get an early apex, so the switchback maneuver is on, but not on enough.
I think he sticks it.
I believe he will stick. Now, we have seen him make some mistakes, and the Mustang definitely isn't easy on its tires, especially its rear tires, when you're comparing it to like the Ferrari. So we could see this switch back, but I'm not sure, as Shield has another drive-through penalty, unfortunately.
Yeah, so this looks like a done deal between Leader and Thibodeau.
Yeah, I think it was about inevitable. All Thibodeau had to do was set up the last corner, and he pretty much had it. So
Yeah, almost looked like a mistake in the last corner, but he did a pretty good job of keeping in line. As far as I can see, there's no big battles on track. Since you have race control pulled up, can you go through our biggest movers so far?
biggest movers. Let's do that, shall we? So our biggest movers will be up 9 positions is JP May in P12, started P21. Then we got a couple around him as well. Juicy Jake, Nolan Witt, Brad Garman, they're all up 6 positions. Montien is up 8 positions from P24. That doesn't seem right, because I feel like Montien was up way higher than 24.
I thought he was, but I don't know. Oh, this might be from when you reset the game.
Oh, that could be.
So, take this with a grain of salt, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll just have to pull up the qualifying results, I guess.
That's a lot of work there.
Yeah, so most of our drivers have kind of separated themselves at this point. I will give
Closest right now is Sebastian Rock on Ramon Lorenzo in
Right.
P9.
We will go down to him in a bit, but we will give SVG his glory for the moment. He's had an amazing race so far. He's 7 seconds clear of P2. So really strong performance overall. Really unfortunate for his teammate to not finish up in the points. We're not entirely sure why he left. But I see now. So we have 2 drivers who've disconnected for some kind of issues. Cameron Hastings, who is SVG's teammate, his wheel disconnected.
Ah, I see.
So that would do it.
That makes sense.
And then Michael Santos, who mysteriously disappeared at some point without us noticing, got kicked out of the server for some reason. Not sure if it's ACC issues or internet issues or what, but either way, it's unfortunate for him. It's also unfortunate for me, because he's been one of my only decent performers in the SRA Fantasy League.
Oh no, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I won't get into it too much, but I've not had a good season so far with that.
I don't think I have anybody in D5. As we approach, we have 1 minute left of this race. Where is SVG? Will have 1 more lap.
Yep. So we will have to finish this lap plus 1 more lap of glory. I believe the only battle anywhere on track, as far as I can see, is Rock on Lorenzo fighting for that P8 position. We had seen Thibodeau and Leader fighting for that podium position, but Thibodeau has pulled almost a 5-second gap, so definitely no chance of them switching back at any time unless there's some kind of accident. Oh no! With 9 seconds left to go, Cameron Thibodeau has a drive-through penalty.
Oh no.
And I don't know if he'll be able to serve that before the end of the race.
I don't believe so.
What is...
I believe that's just a 30-second penalty.
Oh no, he does have a chance.
Oh yeah, I think he's serving it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he thankfully had not passed the pit entry yet, but still, that sucks. Right at the end. Yeah, I won't hark on his unfortunateness for too long. We're gonna go ahead and watch Rock and Lorenzo as they fight it out for their P7 spot. I don't think Rock will be close enough to really do anything, but we will certainly watch him try. Are you able to tell what the gap is between them right now?
0.5.
All right. So you could definitely make that up, probably. Is someone else spun? Oh, that's just Shield. Okay. So Shield has some kind of...
Oh, dang. Oh, it's just Shield. He means
that,
nothing to you.
That was way more dismissive than I meant it to be, so I apologize to Shield, but he's just not had a good race. He's had a couple drive-through penalties, and so I think he'll be happy that the race is over at this point. But he does get good points. Because
this camera.
Yeah, that's an interesting camera there.
Yeah, that was weird. But SVG does cross the line, takes the win.
Hemian gets P2. Austin Thibodeau gets P3. Lead, I believe it's Neil Leader, I could be wrong, gets P4.
You are correct.
Zach Watt comes across in P5. Garcia will be coming across in P6 here shortly. But we have the battle coming down to the line. I don't think Rock will get the chance to overtake, but he was close, and he will see him as Lorenzo crosses the line P7 and Rock crosses P8. Very close. About a almost 3 to 4 tenths gap between the two. So very good overall. Draper will get to P8, Garmin to P9, JP Maya to P10, Juicy Jake P11, Witch will finish P12. I don't know the positions anymore because people have disconnected. But
yeah.
Anyway, we have one more driver to finish, Duong Bonglio. And there you have it. That is our race over. I'm going to quickly get a screenshot of this so that I can remember who to pull in for interviews. And then we will begin to pull some drivers in. But before then, Bailey, what did you think of the race?
It was a pretty eventful start of the race. Much cleaner. I appreciate that from everybody here in D5. Stewarding appreciates it too. But all around, good race. SVG had a very lonely race up there. But a couple of overtakes, a couple of dives. We're here though.
Yeah. Definitely not a bad race in terms of incidents, thankfully. At least from what we saw. You know, we could have missed a whole bunch of stuff, but generally when you have these smaller grids, you're not going to have as many issues.
Yeah, even with the smaller grid, there was still some good battles all the way through the race there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this track doesn't really lend itself to quite the same battles that we would see at like Austria or some of the other tracks. But there were people close to each other through the whole race, and there was a lot of good side-by-side action in the beginning part of the race. So, unfortunately, our P1 driver, or our P3 driver, does not want to join us. So I need to figure out who our P2 driver is. And our P2 driver is also not in the race chat yet.
Uh-oh.
Are we going to have any interviews? See, where's Sig?
It's okay if we don't.
Yeah, I don't see any of our top 3 in the race chats. So we might not get to do any interviews. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone. So apologies for anyone who wanted to see interviews today, but unfortunately we're all fresh out. But either way, that was an amazing race. We will go ahead and move on to the track map, or not the track map, the schedule, if I can find it. It's somewhere around here.
You got this.
There we go. Season calendar. Anywho, so that was our race 5 at Hungaroring. We are back for the second half of the season. Join us next week back here in D5 for Laguna Seca. We are going back to America finally to race at one of my personal favorite tracks, and I think the Corkscrew will hopefully be a good viewing, good thing to view, but we will have to wait and see. But Bailey, do you have any closing thoughts for our viewers here in chat?
Just that. Good luck next week at Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
I believe that's the. Is that a variable race?
Yes, it is.
Oh boy, I can't remember. I should remember this, but I can't remember. It's been so long. But yeah, I think Laguna Seca throwing in variable weather is going to throw. It's like throwing a rock at a car flipped over.
Mhm.
You know, just more chaos. So.
Yeah, so we will be having rain in the desert. Hopefully, anyways.
Can't wait.
If we don't have rain, blame Bailey for breaking something, I guess.
Yeah, people are either gonna love me or absolutely hate me. So we'll see. It's always one or the other.
Yeah. Either way, it'll be fun. But if you want to watch more racing, D1 and D3 streamed today alongside us on Twitch for D1 and then YouTube for D3. Tomorrow we are going to be having the even divisions racing, so that'll be D2, D4, D6. All of those will be on YouTube, and then D2 will also be on Twitch. I will be racing in D4, so if anyone wants to come cheer me on, that'd be greatly appreciated. Bailey, I think you're also racing tomorrow?
Nope. I'm
Oh.
retired from ACC.
How could you?
How could I? It's the best thing I ever did.
Fair enough. No. Anywho, it's been fun in the booth with you, Bailey, and hopefully all of our viewers had a good time. But without a further ado, we will close out the stream. Have a good night, y'all.